All right, so in this video I have a new pair of Adidas running sneakers that I've been dying to just see in hand and on feet. And this is the Adizero Prime X2 Strung. Now, let's take a look. I'll show you the shoes first of all because these things are absolutely crazy. Like just insane looking pairs of sneakers. Now, and I know first things first, this is not going to be a shoe that you're supposed to casual. It's made for elite performance running. I get it, but sometimes I like to try those type of sneakers out because I want to see the potential for what products have to offer. And I've tried the first version of these, not the Strungs, the original ones, and they were actually pretty crazy. I was like, these are insane. Like I was really blown away by the technology and the midsole and the soft squishiness. The bounce back was insane. And then this is the latest and greatest version. So the midsole is completely revamped from the previous, and you have 3 stacks of Lightstrike Pro on here. Anyways, Adidas created this new version of the Adizero Prime X2 Strungs. There's a lot of words, but the strung upper is crazy. I just wanted to see how this was. I didn't try the first one. And again, the updated midsole. And now just so you guys know, Adidas did send me this pair, so I did not pay for them. However, they don't get to dictate anything I do say in the video. So it is completely my thoughts, and hopefully you guys appreciate that. So this is gonna be from a perspective of somebody that is not using these for running, which is obviously the overall major intent of these shoes. I would say that maybe 1% of people out there buy these from the perspective of myself, of somebody that's not gonna run in a high performance running shoe. But I am very interested in this upper and just some information about what Adidas says about these massive chunky pairs of sneakers. Now this is not the most expensive pair of running sneakers Adidas makes now. They actually have a $500 version that is going to be releasing, which is just insane. Those are super lightweight, and it's something that I'm very interested in checking out as well, just to see the difference in the midsole compound, if it's lighter. I don't know. I'm just very intrigued by it, even though it's a ridiculous price. Sometimes you gotta pay to play, but again, throwing a disclaimer out there, casual review of a performance sneaker, that's what I'm gonna give these, and it is a crazy experience on feet. I mean, look at this stack height. The midsole is 50 mm, which is absolutely massive on the heel, but look at the forefoot. Like usually it kind of tapers down and drops a little bit in the front. I mean, this thing is just massive, and it's because they added that third stack in the middle just to make it that much more elevated and give it kind of like a springback sort of feeling. So when you're walking around in these things, it's insane, the squishy feel, heel to toe transition and the toe off. Even walking, you definitely feel like an elevated sense from the product that you're walking in. The strung upper is nuts. It kind of reminds me of like a paper mache, the way all of the strings are kind of like laid over top of each other and then kind of plastered on. And the actual material, it's pretty scratchy on the surface of the material. On the inside, it's not as scratchy, but on the outside, it feels like they put a protective coat on here, probably for added durability, but it's a very interesting concept. Oddly enough, you could kind of see through the upper in certain angles, and you'd think it's pretty breathable the way that the upper comes together, but when you try to breathe inside of the shoe, it's not quite as breathable as I would have expected this material to be, because again, it's kind of like a plaster over top on the outside. Now, I don't know if that's the way the first version was, and I don't know if it's going to cause any problems for those people that need the extra ventilation. I do like that you have some reinforced material that they could do in one singular color on the back part here where the heel comes up. So it gives you a little bit of definition of like this string material right here makes up the heel cup, and then it does say the Adizero Prime X2 back here. Also does say strung on the inside collar right up here for the materials. And then I do like also the 3 stripes in black that kind of fades away, the way that they kind of integrated on the sides of the shoes. I think that's kind of nice. Clever branding. Obviously, when you have a super shoe like this, people want to see that it's like a specific brand or whatever, and it definitely looks kind of cool the way they integrated that. For the tongue, it is integrated in and attached, and you can see it's a stretchier material for the top section, although I wouldn't say overly stretchy. It's probably a somewhat recycled material as well, but it's stretchy a little bit here, and then it's sewn together with the rest of the strung material. And then for the laces, the bottom 3 eyelets are done in a nylon loop, and then the top 2 are done in plastic. I do like that you have a little heel tab that can kind of flip up if you need for like a pull tab. At least that's what I use it for. I don't know if that's the intent, but it's pretty functional and actually works pretty well. You do have a soft liner as well for the top part of the collar, which is pretty nice. I would say the overall size in these are true to size. I'm a 9.5. I should have a 9.5 in these. I did actually get a 9, unfortunately, instead of a 9.5. So they are a little bit smaller than I expected. If you guys have a difference in opinion on sizing, please leave a comment in the comment section. But for the size 9 for me, they fit once I can squeeze my foot in. Like the length is fine at a 9, but I think that a 9.5 would probably be better. Then you transition to the midsole of the shoe, and that's, again, where everything just gets crazy. The overall curvature and the look of the midsole is nuts. You do have a gap in the middle of the shoe as well. That's completely see-through, a little triangle right here, which I thought was pretty cool. But then you also do have one layer on the top one giant layer on the bottom, and then again the sandwich layer right here in the middle. I wish they used a little bit of coloring on that middle layer so you know that it was a little bit different than the other two stacks of foam, but ultimately, like, it's just absolutely nuts. It's such a massive stack of foam on here, and it's nice and soft, and Lightstrike Pro is really, really nice stuff if you've never tried it. And the foam in between right here actually does feel a little bit softer than the other two layers. I don't know if that's actually true, but just from overall touching like the foam, it does feel a little bit softer. Lightstrike Pro branding on the side, and then also it says MM50, so I'm assuming that's 50 millimeters for the stack height of the shoe. You do have a little bit of a narrow heel on the back. Is it wobbly? Yeah, I would say a little bit. I mean, if you're trying to walk side to side and really cut like a basketball court, like, you're probably going to break an ankle in these things. Is it okay for walking around and just wearing casually? I would say it's okay. It's acceptable. It's not the best option for your feet, but I wear these like Costco and Target and stuff, and I was just totally fine. The outsole traction is a bit interesting. You see, it does say Continental on the tip here in blue. The black section, I believe, is Continental as well, but then this Adizero section right here is done in a slicker red-like material. It's almost like a hard plastic, not a rubber. So interesting that they changed that up there. Also, there's a couple, 3 gaps here in the front of the shoe as well in the middle, and you could see that there is a plastic plate in the middle, sandwich in between, to give you that real catapult sort of vibe to these shoes. So you can see you can't bend the shoe backwards or forward. It's really built for somebody like toe off running and just heel toe transition and bouncing off. And you could tell that is the case from the build of the shoe. I did see a couple running reviews of these, and I saw one that said they were not as good as the first, and then I saw another one that said they were better than the first one. So I guess it just depends on who you ask. Also, the overall weight is a little bit heavier than the first version of these. So if you really want like the craziest, lightest shoe, this is not going to be it. I feel like the next version, the $500 version, is the one you're looking for if you really want extra, extra light. But these ones are a bit heavier because of the massive stack of foam. And to be clear, this is 10.8 ounces for a men's size 9. And then the Ultra Boost 22 is actually 11.8. So these are an ounce less than the Ultra Boost 22s were. So it's not like it's a heavy shoe by any means, but if you're paying $300 for a premium running shoe, a lot of other running shoes out there are like between 7 and 9 ounces. So I'm assuming that these are going to be a lot heavier on feet overall comparison to some of the other stuff out there. But with my Costco runs and my PRs, I'm not really going that crazy in these things. I'm just kind of enjoying them casually. So that's really the magic question. Can you enjoy these casually or not? Is it something that's just a no-go? And I would say it really depends on you and your feet, and really how casual or non-casual are you going to be using these shoes. Are you buying these for $300 with the intent of wearing them every single day and having it be your primary source of footwear? I would say it might be a little bit weird. You probably get extra used to the crazy stack of height and the walking around in these things. But overall, I would say it felt really nice walking around in the shoes. And overall, it's a crazy sensation in the midsole of these with the Lightstrike Pro. Something I've really wanted Adidas to do since the very first time I tried Lightstrike Pro is create an Ultra Boost version with Lightstrike Pro in the midsole. I think that would be unbelievably good. It would be way softer and squishier, done in a model that everybody knows and loves already, kind of really revitalizing that model. Hopefully we'll see them create something like that in the future. I wanted to give you guys some words of what Adidas says about these though, because of the technical aspects of these shoes. Crazy stuff going on here. High stacked racing shoe packed with performance-driven features. Built with innovative technology and designed without the constraints of world race regulations, the Prime X2 Strung offers more performance-driven features in a single race shoe. It's constructed with Strung upper, a textile innovation that transforms athlete data into dynamic materials tuned to the athlete's needs. Prime X2 Strung also has 3 layers of Lightstrike Pro and a stack height of 50 mm. With an all-new energy core between the 2 layers of foam, it helps you reduce weight and provide spring in the fore and midfoot, which doesn't make sense because it's heavier than the previous version. But the outsole features Continental compound that delivers serious grip for various surfaces. The new Lightstrike Pro core is framed by 2 carbon-infused plates. Together, they are designed to create a platform for more responsiveness through your run. And I believe that they alluded to these being banned from racing because of the stack height of the shoe being too high. I think Nike ran into that problem originally because the stack height of the foam from their Elite Runner dude was too big, and so they decided to put a stack height limitation to people's footwear, which I think is kind of interesting and weird because foam compounds are different and they compress differently depending on the foam that the companies are using. So the stack height would probably have some sort of an advantage depending on the foam that was actually being used. Anyways, what are your guys' thoughts on these crazy Strung 2s? I think that they are just nuts, and I really appreciate trying them on and just giving them a go just to see how they are, even though I'm not the intended audience for the product. Sometimes it's really fun to be able to get a product and give insight maybe to the companies or just to other people out there that are curious about a product. And hopefully you guys are some of those people. And if you are, please drop a like on the video and leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think, because I know I'm not an elite runner. I'm going to get fat shamed in the comment section because I'm, I don't run very well and stuff. But I've always enjoyed footwear and technology and kind of the forward thinking motion of companies out there that are trying to do something a little bit bigger, something better, different, and seeing how I could apply this in different type of models to make it more lifestyle friendly. So Adidas, my recommendation is taking this shoe and making it a wider base platform for the heel, having something that's a shorter stack, but basically competing with the Nike Invincible Run series. I feel like that would be a good move. Also creating the lineage of the Adidas Ultra Boost, the OG 1.0, as well as the new Ultra Boost Light versions, and creating Lightstrike in that midsole. Same exact sculpting of the midsole as previous, but instead of Boost, using Lightstrike Pro. People will go crazy, I think. I mean, really, people will try it out and go, this is so much softer than Boost. We've elevated the materials through the last handful of years because Boost was kind of the one that was the pinnacle of comfort like 6-7 years ago. Now there's so many better technologies out there, and Adidas has one of them. Unfortunately, they're just not showcasing it in a way where consumers are going to know that yet. So that's my thoughts. Leave a comment in the comment section. What do you guys think? Thank you guys for stopping by and watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you guys want to buy a pair, link in the description. And I appreciate y'all for stopping by and watching. Hopefully we'll see you back for some more sneaker content on the channel very soon. All right, peace guys.